Today, I want to talk about a question that I get often, and that is, how do I build my real estate team? Which team members do I hire first? What does the sequence look like of building my team? I'm going to answer all of those questions in this video right now. All right, so whenever you're building out your real estate team, there's a bunch of different ways you can approach it. I'm going to teach you the way that I approached it, the sequence that I followed whenever I was building out my team, and this is the sequence that I typically recommend for my clients as well to help them scale to 7 figures as fast as possible. Now, whenever you're first starting to build your business, the very first thing that you have to do is you've got to get a solid foundation of marketing and sales systems, meaning you need a proven system for generating leads and a proven mechanism for converting those leads into closed deals on a repeated basis, meaning you've got to get that proof of concept and it's got to be strong, meaning I don't recommend to close one deal and then go start hiring team members. I would recommend to get a couple of deals at least underneath your belt so that you see the entire process A to Z and you can train somebody else on those processes inside the business. So that's the first thing. The first thing that you want to do is make sure that you've got solid marketing and sales systems so that you're consistently bringing in deals, because you don't need team members in order to close 1, 2, 3, even 5 deals. You could close 1 to 2 deals per month just by yourself, which will allow you to build up your cash flow to be able to then invest into hiring high quality team members. Now, whenever you start to close deals consistently, then it's time to start looking at how do we create leverage inside of the business, and that's where we're going to start to be able to scale the business. So the very first thing that we want to do is we want to look at what are the departments of the business. So there are 5 core departments of a wholesaling business. Now, if you're flipping, you're going to have a project management department as well. You may have a realtor sales team as well, but this structure, this is just for a wholesaling operation. So if you're wholesaling, these are your 5 departments. You've got marketing, you've got lead management, acquisitions, transaction coordinating, and dispositions. These are the 5 core departments that you need to fill as you're starting to build out your team. So I'm going to show you guys the sequence, and I promise you, I bet you haven't ever seen somebody show this exact sequence and teach the scaling sequence like I'm about to show you right now. And if you can follow this, this is going to allow you to scale at a really fast pace. We have people that come into REI Game Changers and go through this sequence and go from 0 to 6 figures a month within 6 months, which is really fast. We've had people take this sequence and go from $50,000 a month to $500,000 a month. So it's really, really effective if you follow this properly. Now, the first department that I want to create leverage in is the marketing department. We've got to get leverage inside of the marketing department, meaning you are generating leads without you having to do the work. So if you're the one sitting on the cold call dialer, if you're the one doing the texting, if you're the one driving for dollars, that's not leveraged marketing. We want to create leverage inside of the marketing department so that you have leads coming in every single day without you having to do the work. Now, as we start to move through this sequence, my goal is to increase marketing so much that I have too many leads coming in for me to handle on my own. I want to create so much leverage inside of the marketing department that I've got so many leads coming in that I literally cannot handle all of the leads coming in, and I've got leads falling through the crack. My goal is to break the next piece of the company, which is lead management. So I want to throttle up marketing to where I've got an excess amount of leads coming in so that I have to hire a lead manager. That's how you're going to be able to scale in a healthy way, and you're not going to sacrifice your profitability as you're scaling. So we want to increase marketing. We've got too many leads coming in, and now that we've got an excess lead flow, we're going to go to the lead management department and we're going to put a lead manager in place. Because I've got excess lead flow, I've got a proof of concept, meaning I've got consistent deals coming in, consistent deals closing on a regular basis. So I've got the money to be able to support this lead manager. Now I'm going to get a lead manager in place. Now I've got the ability to have leads coming in every single day without me having to do the work. And I've got a lead manager in place. So I've got leads coming in and appointments being scheduled without me having to do the work. What does this allow me to do? This allows me to now pour more money into my marketing machine, because the goal here is to consistently break the next piece of the business, the next stage of the business. So now that I've got leads coming in and appointments being scheduled without me having to do the work, I can actually go on more appointments because I'm not having to worry about filtering through all of these leads and scheduling me appointments. I've got somebody doing that for me. I've got somebody doing all of the lead generation for me as well. That allows me to close more deals and go on more appointments on the acquisitions. That's why I can pour more money into marketing. Here's the thing. We want to pour so much money into marketing that we have too many appointments being scheduled on our calendar to where we can no longer keep up with all of the appointments being scheduled on our calendar. So now we're forced to hire an acquisitions rep or 2 acquisition reps. So now that we get an acquisition reps in place, what does that allow us to do? It allows us to now go back and increase the marketing again. Why? Because we have more calendar availability, because you've got a salesperson in here, an acquisition rep or 2 acquisition reps, that their sole focus, their sole responsibility inside of your company is to go on appointments and close deals. Go on appointments, close deals. That's the only responsibility that they have inside of the company. The reason why they're going to be able to handle more appointments than you is because they don't have to worry about any of these other departments in the company. You, as the CEO, as the business owner, you have the entire company that you have to be responsible for. You have to be responsible for all of these departments, and that means that you have a ton of things vying for your attention at all times, meaning your capacity on the acquisition side is going to be a lot lower than a full-time acquisition rep. So once we get the acquisition rep in place, the calendar availability increases so we can pour more money into marketing, and that's going to allow us to be able to generate more leads, more deals, and we're going to be able to increase the revenue inside of the company. Once we get acquisitions in place, these next 2 departments usually come pretty quickly after we get the acquisitions roles filled. So once we get acquisitions in place, we're going to go now to transaction coordinating. So we want to have a transaction coordinator in place who's responsible for getting all of these deals to the finish line. So one acquisition rep, typically what I recommend is an acquisition rep is responsible for getting 2 contracts per week inside the company. So that's 8 deals per month that this acquisition rep could be bringing in for you. That's a lot of deals that you don't want to have to be communicating all of the transaction coordinating business for. You don't want to have to be communicating with the sellers. You don't want to have to be communicating about title work. You don't want to have to deal with all of that stuff with 8, 10, 12 deals per month. That's a lot of stuff that you're going to have to be responsible for. So we want to get a transaction coordinator in place who's responsible for communicating with the seller, the title company, and the buyer to get the deal to the finish line. This person is going to be able to help solve title issues, help get any paperwork that the title company needs from the sellers or buyers. They're going to be able to help alleviate a ton of stress for the entire team. So once we get this person in place, now everybody's bandwidth is freed up a little bit more. So we can go back to marketing. We can pour more money into marketing again, allowing us to increase our deal flow yet again. Now we got the last piece of the puzzle here. We've got dispositions. Once you are at this position, you're going to have a lot of work for a dispositions manager to be able to handle. So you've got a lot of work for that person to fulfill. So we're going to go from here to the dispositions department. We're going to get a disposition rep in place. Now we've got all of the core departments filled, and this is going to allow us now to increase marketing again, allowing us to scale up. Once you've got all of these positions filled, even if you just have one person in each one of those positions, you are going to be able to handle quite a high volume of deals. I've done when I was at a place where I had just one person in each one of these positions, I was able to do 12, 13, 14 deals per month after month, consistently. So you can do quite a high volume of deals just with one person. Now, obviously, if you want to scale beyond that, you want to start to get multiple lead managers. You want to start to have multiple acquisition reps and so on. And that's how you start to scale even higher. But just this core team will get you to 12 plus deals per month on a consistent basis without you having to do any of the frontline work. Meaning you're going to be able to now just work on your business. You're going to be able to work on the business once you get to this place and not have to work inside of the business. So this is the scaling sequence. Guys, if you follow this sequence, you're going to be able to scale in a healthy way and not sacrifice profitability, and you're not going to be hiring too soon. You're going to be scaling in a way where you're forcing yourself to hire the next person. You're hiring the next person whenever your business needs it and not before your business needs it. So you're not losing cash flow. You're not bleeding money. You're going to be able to generate a high profitability inside of this business. So hopefully this helps.